In this session, we will cover the exclude and the rename keywords which has been introduced recently, and these are the SQL improvements provided by the Snowflake. So let's see what exactly is the exclude and what exactly is the rename. So before we go into the demo, let's understand some of the theory. So what is an exclude keyword? So for example, if you want to select all the columns and want to exclude few, you can use the exclude keyword. Why it is required? So imagine that you are creating a view on a table, and that view you want to use almost all the fields, and suppose the table is pretty big, it has say 50 columns, but out of the 50 columns you just want to exclude only 2 columns which are pretty sensitive. So instead of typing all those 48 columns, this exclude keyword comes with a lot of power that you can select by default 48 and then exclude those 2 columns. So this is very helpful when there are a lot of columns in an underlying table and you want to exclude a few. Next keyword which has been introduced by Snowflake is the rename keyword. So what it gives us the capability to basically rename or alias the columns when we are selecting them. So let's understand in more detail and we will see the demo. We will see in application. So for example, we have this particular table, select star from raw applicant staging. So if you see this table, it has these columns as we have seen in the previous session. It has ID, it has first name, it has last name, sex, ethnicity, SSN, street address, education level, and all other details. So in this particular line number 6, what I am doing, I am using the exclude keyword, and what I am saying, hey, give me all the columns, exclude the ID. In my results, I don't need this ID column, and this is how I will implement. Select star, select all the columns, star means all the columns, but exclude the ID. So let's see what will be the result. So in the output, we should not see the ID and we should see all other columns. So if you see here in the output, the ID is gone and all other columns are here available with us. Now if the requirement is to exclude multiple columns, so as we have seen in our table here, we have lot of columns here. So if I want to exclude ID and I want to exclude SSN, then this is the format I have to apply. I have to do select star exclude, and then I have to put it in the brackets. I have to put the first column which is ID and the second column which is SSN, and then I do a select from the raw applicant staging table. So this is the method to basically exclude more than one column, and this one is the method to exclude just one column. So let's run this, and in the output what we should see, we should not see the ID and the SSN. So if you see here, the ID is also gone and the SSN is also gone, and this is how you can select the columns using the exclude keyword. And as I have mentioned in the theory, that using this particular select star exclude, you can create various views, or you can write whatever queries you want to write where you don't need the sensitive columns using this exclude keyword. It's a pretty powerful keyword which has been recently introduced. So let's move on and understand what exactly is the rename keyword. So we will take the same example. We have this particular table, raw applicant staging, and we have all these columns. Now suppose while selecting, you want to rename some of the column here. So if you see this example, I am just planning to rename ID as an identifier, and this is just renaming one column. That is my requirement. So what I am doing, select star, select all the columns, rename ID column and change it to identifier. So while selecting itself, it is renaming it here. So this is how it will be done. So let me run this. So if you see here, the ID has been renamed to identifier, and this particular clause is to rename multiple columns. If you want to rename, like you have to put a rename keyword, bracket start, ID as identifier, SSN as social sec ID. This is what the name I am giving in, and then I am selecting it from raw applicant staging. So this is how it can be done. So ID will become identifier and the SSN will become social sec ID. So if you see here, while selecting, we have renamed the column ID as identifier and the SSN as social sec ID. Now let's see how can we really use both the keywords exclude and rename together in a single query. So let's go back to our table here. So this is our table. So in this table, what I am doing, I am writing a select query on this particular table and using the rename and the exclude together. So I am doing select star exclude SSN and ID. These two columns I am excluding, and I am renaming first name as F name and last name as L name from the table. So let's see whether it works or not. So if you see here, SSN and ID is gone and the first name is renamed as F name and the last name is renamed as L name. So this is all about the exclude and the rename keyword, which has been recently introduced by Snowflake, and they are pretty powerful. In your work, please consider using these. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe, like and share, and let me know if you have any questions in comments. Thank you for watching.